Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I have been tasked with the very important duty of presenting the Hall of Fame Awards for this year. It's my very first time, and it is truly an honor looking at the recipients. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been a wonderful audience, and I think Raisa has been an excellent program coordinator. I ask you to please just bear with me to the end, because if you hear the caliber, we really must give them the respect and honor they deserve. This year we have 11 recipients, and our theme is investing in people and impacting communities. I would like to begin the first award with our long-standing shareholder, Mr. Harun Motara. Uncle Harun did mention him earlier in the program. Just a bit on Mr. Harun Motara before we cue the. He is a charismatic gentleman who started work at Munich Re as a young man. Through hard work and dedication, he worked his way up to executive level. He also lectured at the Insurance Institute. I hear he is a tough negotiator and very pedantic. Adila tells me he keeps her on her toes. He is an expert in the insurance world, and as a result, he was headhunted to start up East Africa Re in Kenya and then in Uganda. Following his illustrious career, he is currently enjoying his retirement. Ladies and gentlemen, please will you help me in congratulating our Hall of Fame awardee, Mr. Harun Motara, for our long-serving shareholder. Next up, we have a few literary giants on as awardees, and you'll see the theme of cricket is constant here. For the second awardee, he was born in Cape Town. He worked in more than 33 countries. His wife's name is Hajira, and he has two sons named Xavier and Zain. Uncle Mac, as I know him, is the author of the book Kuli, Come Out and Fight. Besides being an extraordinary writer, he has a truly extensive CV. When you meet him, you'd never guess from how humble he is. Just to give you an idea, he coached the president and senior management team of the largest printing company in Canada through a complex period of growth and expansion. He directed a rescue operation to cut costs and increase revenue at a debt-ridden manufacturing plant in Addis Ababa. And his CV goes quite extensive, as I say. I don't have time to mention it all. But ladies and gentlemen, we acknowledge Uncle Mac Karim today in the Hall of Fame for the long-term development of human potential and service to the community. Unfortunately, Uncle Mac couldn't make it today because a close relative is not well, but we are streaming live on Facebook and Instagram, and he will probably watch this, if not now, then later. Ladies and gentlemen, can you please give Mr. Mac Karim a warm round of applause for his contributions? Okay, next up, I promised you a theme of cricket here. And this is someone who you will probably know, Mr. Aslam Kota. He has a cricket-made family, and that explains his passion for the game. In 1982, he qualified as a cricket coach in England and was among the first non-white coaches in the country. He was a catalyst in sending local cricketers to play club cricket in England. Aslam has contributed cricket articles to the Sunday Times, the Star, the Weekly Mail, and many other mainstream publications. You'll be surprised to know that Aslam Kota has served 15 consecutive years as a member of Cricket South Africa's panel of judges for annual awards since 2004. Islam has influenced and inspired keen broadcasters into media and is ever willing to create opportunities for others. Ladies and gentlemen, this September 2019, Islam celebrated 20 years as a cricket commentator. We congratulate him for his achievements and are delighted to induct him into the Roshgold Hall of Fame. Islam Kota, can you please come to collect your certificate? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Next up, you heard about this gentleman. We actually had a very good impersonation done of him. Mr. Abdus Samad Nana, a community leader and motivator. He was an active sports person, provincial cricketer. He has an interesting and commendable academic background. Listen to this, ladies and gentlemen. He practiced as a teacher, an advocate, a principal, and a business person. He has contributed positively towards many community organizations, including the Roshni Islamic School, R&W, and Everton Social Club in the old days. He is an inspiration and leader to a few generations, including present-day community leaders, many of whom are our Roshgold board members. His mild-mannered approach, wit, and understanding has captured the imagination of many. Ladies and gentlemen, a huge round of applause for Mr. Abdus Nana. Apologies, Mr. Abdus Samad Nana is not here, but he has sent his apologies. We will make sure his certificate and his prize does get to him. Okay, moving on, ladies and gentlemen, and we are keeping it moving nicely. Ladies and gentlemen, as you've heard earlier, we've lost two of our founding fathers this year. And in the posthumous awards, I'd like to honor both of them with deep respect. Abbas Muhammad Dadu and Uncle Bai Dadabai, as I know him. Both were founding directors and members of Roshgold and installation of a unique value system and core ethics of Roshgold and its many projects. Uncle Bai advocated and practiced the concept of getting families, and ladies especially, to eke out savings from their tight budgets for investment in Roshgold. Calling for the kitchen monies not to be wasted, he urged that ladies make the pennies grow and don't waste unnecessarily. In simple terms, budget surpluses were not to be consumed on unnecessary expenses, and I think that's something we can still learn today. He wanted Roshgold to champion the cause of the smaller investors because this class of investor did not have many avenues to invest and save for the longer term. Uncle Abbas was no different. He was against anything prejudicial to the community or shareholders. There were lifetime lessons when he took on people who were not acting in the interest of people they were serving. His will prevail. He was always there to assist, give advice, and provide assistance when needed. He epitomized a general that could be counted upon in times of crisis. He called a spade, and ultimatums were not taken lightly. They both were very active until they succumbed to ill health and contributed very positively. Their passing had left a void, and Roshgold will always benefit from their wise counsel. Our du'as and prayers for them in the Akhirah, and may Allah reward them abundantly for all the good that they have done. May Allah grant them comfort and patience to their wives and extended families. They leave proud legacies and leadership examples for many in the Roshgold family. Ladies and gentlemen, Can we please have a moment of silence in honor of both our founding fathers and just say a kind dua for them. I would like to call upon the families of Uncle Abbas Dadu and Pai Dadabai to accept the awards. Next up, another posthumous award from someone we all know and love well, the late Uncle Ibrahim Babu Gangat. Popularly known as the pioneer of Islamic radio, Uncle Ibrahim, through his charismatic voice and personality, touched the hearts of many through radio. He opted for Islamic radio when he decided against an offered sports broadcasting position at a leading talk radio station. The rest is history. He leaves behind a rich legacy as a champion of the masses and the hope and pleasure that he gave the elderly and informed. Hailing from Roshni, our association with what he was known as Babu goes back to his and our youth. The Roshgold recognized his efforts and success in media by awarding him the media personality of a few years ago. He was a very good public announcer prior to his radio days, and those attending sporting events enjoyed his commentary in the vernacular too. A man of many talents, a man who was gifted in extracting the best from his interviewees, and a man whose sincere disposition could not be denied. Our youth in Roshni benefited from his skills as a public speaker and a leader of the Toastmasters Youth Leadership Program. He had a lovely sense of humor, and who will forget his shows when he talked about members of the Roshni community at times of both happiness and sorrow. His humor, his charming smile, and a laugh will always be remembered. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. We cherish the memories and stories he leaves behind. And our du'as and prayers for him in the Akhirah, may Allah reward him abundantly for all the good he has done. May Allah grant comfort and patience to his wife and daughters and his extended family. Amen. Ladies and gentlemen, may I please call upon the family of Marhum Ibrahim Gangat to receive his award for his influence in Islamic media for over 20 years. Jazakallah so much. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're on our 8th awardee out of 11. We're almost there. Thank you so much for being respectful and for honoring all our awardees. When you say cricket in Roshni, a name that is synonymous with sport is Mr. Afzal Saluji. Such is his stature. His contribution to the youth and cricket extends far beyond our community to the Sedibeng as well as Greater Gauteng. Mr. Saluji's titles include Chairman of the Roshni Cricket Club for over 20 years, current Chairman of the Sedibeng Cricket Council, Board Member of the Roshni Sports Council. He is an active member for the Gauteng Cricket Board, and Uncle Afzal is also a businessman and well-respected community leader. As I said, Uncle Afzal has made a lasting contribution to the lives of many lighties, one including my husband, who remembers him with great fondness and really looks up to Uncle Afzal as a father with great respect. I've heard firsthand on how Uncle Afzal would always encourage and push the guys to do better, always going beyond the call of duty at every time. I would like to, before I call him off, end this with a famous quote that I think we can learn a lot from. Uncle Afzal always says, "No one is bigger than the game, and if you want something out of the game, you got to put a lot in." Ladies and gentlemen, can you please join me in congratulating Mr. Afzal Saluji. We celebrate him as a lifetime achiever and for his contribution to cricket and sports development. Well done, Uncle Afzal Saluji. Gina is our next awardee. Unfortunately, she could not be here today, but we celebrate her as a regular contributor to Roshgold News, a mathematician, teacher, published author, and mother. Her recognition by Roshgold is for her efforts in developing the writing and authorship in her community. She is the brains behind Josie's Books and Blogs Festival, the book The Samosa Express, and her follow-up book, Saffron Collection. Zaira is also very involved in the development of mathematics and has made strides in the establishment of a mathematics club for school-going kids. Ladies and gentlemen, on social media, Zaira may be watching, or if not, she'll be watching later. Please can we have a huge round of applause for Zaira Gina for her award on community building. Next up, I know he's a hero to many, and unfortunately he couldn't make it today because he was contracted by the Mzansi cricket thing that's going on now. Mr. Hashim Amla is our Achiever of the Year. Hashim Hash Amla retired from cricket after an illustrious career locally and internationally. He reached many highlights in a glittering career and is regarded as one of the greatest open 11 not out in a test against England at the Oval in 2012. We salute Hashim for being a distinguished ambassador of South Africa. His exemplary role for the youth and in the sporting field, this giant has displayed the highest levels of integrity and his conduct has been exceptional. We wish him, Hashim, his wife, and his son some well-deserved family time. Ladies and gentlemen, a huge round of applause for Hashim Amla. Before I get to our last awardee, you know, being involved in the planning committee, I have to say Roshgold can really keep a secret. I didn't know about the previous award, and this one is also a surprise, but I have the pleasure of announcing it. I would like to call upon Ms. Hawa Chauhan, and I would like to honor her as a first-time Roshgold attendee and hope that just like Uncle Shabir Chauhan, she will be returning for many more, inshallah. Hawa Chauhan, can you please come and collect a gift on behalf of the Roshgold group? Ladies and gentlemen, on to my last awardee for this Hall of Fame. It is also a posthumous award. It is to honor the late Mr. Ahmed Isup. I have received this from Uncle Yusuf Chabgarda, who was a good friend of his, and it's really heartwarming to note their relationship and all the contributions that he has done over the years. I will try my best, Uncle Yusuf, but I don't think I'll say it as eloquently as you. Let's see. Both as a writer and friend, Ahmed Isup has been a remarkable and unforgettable person. His star shines brightly in the skies of literary fame. His first book, The Haji, won the Olive Schreiner Award. The Haji's brother marries a white girl and lives in Hillbrow. Ahmed lived in a world. A poem of Byron could take him to Venice, a Chinese vase could take him to Peking, and a Grecian could take him to Athens. Although his achievements were outstanding, he was essentially a modest and simple man. He's learning lightly. There was none of the theatre of the poet. He and his wife Farida thought of him as an author, leaving behind 4 books. In his writing, Ahmed Yusuf strove for and the great depth of his reading, the beauty of his writing, and his love for people. Can we please together, can we please give a huge round of applause to the life and works of Ahmed Yusuf, and in honor of his wife Farida as well. Uncle Yusuf Chapkarda, would you like to come and collect Mr. Yusuf's certificate? Oh no. Okay, we'll get the certificate to you, Uncle Yusuf Chapkarda. Jazakallah so much. I've been told I've run out of time. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. I now hand over back to our MC of the day, Raisa Pochi. Jazakallah khair.